I'm wearing a clay mask. It's spa date day. I feel really lucky to feel like me and my partner, my wife Natasha, have a lot in common. I have a lot of career like work experience in construction, and even outside of construction, guys seem to want to like brag about how much they don't like their partners or their wives, and it's never really made a lot of sense to me. I always figured like the ideal relationship is one where at the very least you appreciate your partner's presence, but yeah, really, really lucky we have a lot in common. Even my dad mentioned that when he's talking to me, if or when he's talking to Natasha, it feels like he's talking to me. She feels like I'm like a very introverted person. I don't necessarily like spending time with a lot of people, especially for like long periods of time. And when it comes to like even like my best friends, I don't want to spend more than like a day or two with them. But with Natasha, I could spend all of my time with her. I want to spend as much time as possible with her. We actually have to learn how to like be apart sometimes because we can get really like wrapped up in each other's lives, and it just feels very like easy most of the time for that to happen. We're not perfect. We're not stuff happens, but for the most part, very lucky, very blessed. I think like the things that we have in common, I would say that the number one thing that we have in common is that we can be like very silly with each other. We don't take ourselves too seriously, or when we do have moments of seriousness, I guess the second thing that we have in common is that we're really good at listening to each other. We're really good at sort of like we can be very silly and playful, but then we also know how to navigate like seriousness, and we can have like very like serious conversations. We're still learning how to get better at having certain conversations, especially ones that revolve around like our like personal just sort of like triggers and like past experiences, stuff that we have sort of like not necessarily been very like forthright about healing, or maybe we've like with me, I've like neglected them or pushed them down, and because we're living together, she can see things about myself that I ignore, and then it can become like a point of friction between us when my habit is to sort of like downplay that, and her experience is like, no, this is like the issue that we need to talk about and like deal with and strike. So yeah, first thing would be we can be very silly. Second thing would be we're really good at listening to each other, and then or we're just really good listeners in general. I remember one of like a really early interaction we had before we were even dating. We were out for dinner with some like mutual acquaintances, and there was a girl there that we had just met, and her order, for whatever reason, it wasn't like what she wanted. I don't remember exactly what the problem was, but it was like she was me and Natasha could both look at her and tell that she was in an uncomfortable position where she didn't want to like raise attention or like rock the boat, but she wasn't happy with her food and she didn't want to eat it. And we were both sort of like simultaneously, without even talking to each other or about it, we both were like, oh, let's just call the waiter over. We can be the ones to sort of like talk and like raise a stink and just like get the situation dealt with. And it was cool. It was really, because I find myself always being that person. I'm someone that can be very observant. I have two little brothers, and I can find myself like I'm checking the room and I'm making sure everything's okay. And I'm like, if I see someone is like needs something, I can just like get him or her that something. And it's just nice to see someone else also care about the things that you care about, especially when you don't have to like express that. It's just like, oh, like you are aligned with me. I don't even have to like express, like we just find ourselves in the same room doing the same things at the same time, and that's just a really, really good feeling. And then the third thing that I think that we have in common and that we're really good at is that we are really good at supporting each other. I think we have both been in relationships where we felt like not very supported, and then as a response to that, we became very supportive people. And it just feels, again, like it just feels sick being in a relationship with someone that is just like so willing to support you and so willing to say like, you're doing good, I see you doing good. I could beat myself up a lot in my head, and it's just nice having, as much as like I'm trying to learn how to still motivate myself and support myself and change the voice in my head to be one that is supportive, but it is definitely nice having such a steady and like what's the word I'm looking for? I'm confident in her support of me, and it doesn't feel like fake or like transactional. it genuinely just feels like, yeah, like I just see that you're the shit, and I feel the same way about her. I see you're the shit, and you can do anything that you want, and it doesn't even like cross my mind to doubt you because you're just so the shit. And yeah, that's great. I recommend it to everybody.